This week we are coming at you live from BadCon, Kansas City, where we have a lot of really fun conversations with friends old and new. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxford.
And this week, we are at BadCon Presents KC Horror 2024. And man, I'm having a good time. How about you, Taylor?
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, it's a new little event in the area. Popped up over in Pleasant Valley, Missouri, which is pretty much Kansas City. And yeah, they got a lot going on. There's vendors, there's creators, there's celebrities, there's food. Man, it's going to be a good event. So what do you think you're looking forward to this fine Saturday?
Well, I've already gone and gotten my comics fixed, so that's pretty set in stone there. Hanging out with you, because we haven't hung out in a bit.
Right.
But yeah, seeing old friends, hanging out, just relaxing,
Yeah.
looking at these toys, things like that.
Yeah, I made some rounds too. I'm always drawn to the toys and the Funkos, and I haven't quite found anything I can't live without right now, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, it's good for the wallet.
I'm real excited. We got a couple of Power Rangers. We got some folks from The Walking Dead, Miss Marvel. We got a guy that's been on, for me, this is kind of cool, but my wife is going to think it's cool. He was on This Is Us. He was on The Rookie. Awesome guy that's been in a ton of stuff. You younger people might know him from Wizards of Waverly Place. But yeah, I'm excited that these guys are here. Going to go meet them soon, and maybe we'll have some conversations with them. We'll see what happens. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited here.
All right, you guys, we are sitting here with Cam Lee from Leeway Comics. Cam, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man. Not too bad.
All right, welcome on.
So Cam is here representing his comic book called Godpunk, and we just thought it'd be cool to have you come on and tell us a little bit about that character and your inspiration for it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's I'm really striving with Godpunk to do a comic book for Kansas City, based in Kansas City, that all takes place here in KC too.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of Power Rangers meets Indiana Jones. Young Connor Thorne is an undergraduate archaeologist, gets bound to the Greek god of cicadas, and is destined to protect ancient artifacts from nefarious organizations seeking to steal them to, your traditional world domination kind of stuff.
Very cool. And like you said, it takes place here in Kansas City?
Yeah. So like all the main characters are based here in Kansas City. The main plot points are all right here in KC. So I really try to lean into like icons of KC, the landmarks you recognize. Like, you're going to have Winstead's Diner, you got Union Station, Nelson Atkins Museum, stuff like that.
Oh, that's really cool. So have you always just been into writing since you were young and things like that?
Yeah, since I was a kid, I've been either writing short stories or just making up stories in my head and coming up with stuff. And then I got my undergrad degree in art history a couple years ago, and I'm going through my graduate right now. And I've just always been writing and doodling stories down and stuff. And just during undergrad, I started trying to actually come up with scripts and plots and stuff, and went from there.
Cool. So how long has Godpunk been out? When did you start creating this character in this book?
So I did an issue 0 in 2020 during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of locked down, running out of stuff to do, and it was perfect time to come up with a project and kind of flesh it out. So I did a Kickstarter and ran it. It was really, it's rough, right? It's like a kind of a test of how do I do this? Working with another young artist, Koa Wen, a friend of mine, and we just busted it out. And then last year we finally got through and did issue 1, and this year I pushed through, got a new art team working with Chris Burr out of Germany, and Micah Myers is our letterer. He actually just did the American Psycho book.
Okay.
So he's done a couple adaptations and stuff like that. I got issue 2 out with that and did a Kickstarter for that.
Oh, very cool.
And that just came out like a month and a half ago now.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
what's the price points for those books?
We do $10 for the physical books, $5 for digital. So, and you can go on leewaycomics.com and just got the website set up like literally a month ago or a couple weeks ago, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
And I got digital copies, physical copies, and we're in a couple stores around KC and kind of pushing to just get it out and about more and more.
It's very cool. I know a lot of our listeners love comics, and this is right up their alley.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
So tell our listeners, where can they find you out on social media, out on a website and things like that?
So you can find me at officialgodpunk everywhere on like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Twitch, although I'm not on very frequently anymore. And then leewaycomics.com, brand new website, brand new branding and everything on there, but you'll find all the books, regular blog updates with what we're doing. We're just starting production on issue 3 right now. We've got a 6-month production cycle for books, so with any luck, come next spring, early next spring maybe, we'll have either a Kickstarter or we'll just have issue 3 out and about. Kind of depends on how production goes.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, the idea sounds amazing and it looks great. So listeners, make sure you go check it out, guys. You're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by with us.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We are sitting here with David DeCamp, the artist. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Show's got a good vibe. We're real excited to be here. It was a good drive over here. We're about 2 hours away, but you know, when you do this drive as much as I do, it's nothing.
Right. It's good music and podcasting time.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, for our listeners, tell them a little bit about what you do and the inspiration for your artwork and things like that.
And which ones you choose, why?
Okay. Well, I'm a professional graphic designer. I work for a telecommunications company, and I do everything from brochures to billboards, you know, the proverbial soup to nuts. If it's got our company's image on it, chances are I do it. I was also shoehorned to be on the radio, so I do our radio ads for our company. That was an experience. It was like, you're going to do radio. Oh, okay. It can't be that hard. And it really is not. I mean, with what you guys do here, it really interests me and the whole audio production process. But as far as my illustration goes, I was interested in art from being a little kid. I was always drawing and doodling something. Yeah, I went to college for art, and I tried my hand at colored pencil while I was in college. I was terrible at it. So once I graduated, I got a job at the University of Missouri, and my mentor, I was frustrated. He goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "I want to do colored pencil, but I don't know what I'm doing." So he helped me find a style and break it down, and I've adopted it for my own, and that's what started me with my freelance business. And it grew from just family and friends to people seeing my work and offering me commissions. Hey, draw my dog, draw my grandma, draw this, draw that. And then the job I'm at now, a coworker was saying, "Hey, there's a Comic-Con in Hannibal, Missouri. Are you going to go?" I said, "I didn't know anything about it." He goes, "Well, you should look into it and see if you can have a spot there." So I contacted the owner, and it really kicked off the desire for me to want to do comic book heroes and superheroes and things like that. And I've grown my repertoire quite a bit over the past year, having done a few of these and knowing what customers and patrons want. I've sort of upped my game a little bit. I've entered a renaissance in my talent, where I'm achieving more realism, more dramatic lighting, more action, just more. And I think it's really helped me in gaining self-confidence, honing my professionalism, and just overall skill with working with what people want.
I really enjoy your color theory. That has really cool color theory when it comes to like you being able to put in like little red and orange and yellow pops in places where it doesn't necessarily need to be there, but what it does is it makes the other colors more vibrant because of it.
That's something I've learned too here of late. I was really conservative and timid and holding back in my technique, and it was a piece I did for a Christmas gift about a year ago. I thought, well, what I'm seeing here is some purple to make this light. I'm going to take a risk and put some purple here. And like, this looks really cool. This looks fantastic. So on some of these other pieces, I'm trying other colors, like you said. to create a highlight or a shadow. The Spider-Man that I'm working on right now, I'm dropping some orange and some yellow just to pop that sunrise or sunset look that gets a cast on the headpiece. So
like the sandstone off the buildings and stuff like that. Yeah. That's rad. So how do you pick your subjects? Like, we get like the Spider-Mans and the Wolverines. That's pretty much like.
Well, what I'm going for now is action and drama, and I use Pinterest to just search out some AI ideas or images that somebody else maybe has generated in Photoshop. And what I do is I take pieces of what I like, I put it together in Photoshop to make it my own, and then I draw it. So
Beautiful.
It's really, really far removed from what I originally see, but it's still, I get inspired when I look on Pinterest for superhero art, Spider-Man images, or Deadpool, or Wolverine. The Wolverine is a combination of two really strong pieces that I put together in Photoshop. Like, oh, this is killer. I like this. So let's go to town.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners, where can they find you out on social media and things like that?
I'm on Instagram. It's DDIEKAMP. It's DDCamp. That, of course, the @ sign is in front of it. That's my Instagram page. I have a website. It's revolutionstudio.com. That's REBELUTIONSTUDIO.com. So revolutionstudio.com. And on there is my graphic design portfolio, my illustration portfolio, my wife's blog, just kind of a plethora of things they can look at and
That's awesome.
enjoy.
For anyone who looks this up and sees something that catches their eye, do you sell things on your website or?
I don't have the ability to sell
Okay.
online, but contact me. I can ship you a print. If you want a custom piece, I can do that too. I do commission still. So yeah, anything goes. But thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love what you guys are doing here, and I just appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
Anyone listening, take our word for it. Go to his website, go to his socials. His artwork is amazing. We're watching him draw it, so we know he's doing it, but it looks so real.
Do you remember those like machines where you used to print out cards
Yeah.
in like Walmart and stuff, and you'd see it like that's what it reminds me of, but it's like
Good.
Thank you. Appreciate
Awesome.
that.
Great job.
Really is.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, we just talked to David. Now we are talking with his lovely wife, Sherry DeCamp. How are you doing, Sherry?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. How's your day been at this event?
It's been fun. I love talking to all the different vendors and people who come through, especially ones who dress up.
Yeah. So a little birdie told us about this blog that you do, and we thought it might be cool to have you come plug it for us.
All right. I mean, it's nothing special. I don't know. I've always been creative when it comes to writing. Like David's talent is the actual art side. My outlet is writing. And so it actually started when my kids were little. I would start doing these blogs, and then I would name it at the end, something like Stressed Out Mom or something. And then it kind of morphed into Rambling Roxy, which is funny how I even got that nickname. I was super nerdy in high school, and I grabbed this wet paint sign once when I was at a drama competition, and I wrote my little code name, which was Roxy, and my best friend wrote Bubbles on her. And then we wore them on our backpack for like the next 2 years. So most people in high school knew of me by the name Roxy instead of my own first name. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so it became Rambling Roxy because it's kind of what I do. I just ramble.
Very cool. And is that out there on social media and a website and all that?
It's just on David's website.
Oh, okay.
He was like, hey, I'm going to throw your blogs on there. And I'm like, all right. I mean, who's going to read them? And he's like, no, they're great. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. Let's do it.
And what kind of stuff does Rambling Roxy ramble about?
The DMV, Walmart, my dogs, kids, especially when, you can't go to the bathroom without one of them knocking on the door and doing the, Mom, Mommy!
Yeah, we're very much in the toddler stage of mine right now, and he loves going to see Mom in the bathroom. Dad, he just likes to check on, like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, buddy. And he'll be like, okay, Daddy. And then he'll go away. It's very interesting.
But with Mom, he's like, hey,
With
can
Mom,
we hang out?
Yeah, he wants to hang out with Mom in the bathroom, which, like, I don't even want to do that. So, like, good for her. I guess she has fans, but,
Yeah.
Very
it's
cool.
so funny because when the kids were younger, it was them stalking me in the bathroom. Now it's the dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a couple of those, too. Yeah, we have 4 kids and 2 dogs, so we are right there. Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by, and everyone listening, go check it out on David's website that he mentioned earlier. Go find it, and, while you're there checking out the amazing art, go read this really fun blog.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, guys. I
You're
appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, we are now sitting here with Robert Baker from Innovative Ideas, and Robert and his brother have come up with this really cool game, and we thought they'd stop on by and tell us all about it. So, Robert, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. It's fun to be here.
Yeah, so our listeners love all kinds of stuff. We're into, movies, games, video games, tabletop games, all kinds of stuff, and your game just looked so cool, and you were telling me about it. I thought our listeners would love to hear about it. So give us a few minutes here and tell us about your game.
Okay, this game was invented back in 2009. Me and my brother, we were sent to the VA hospital to pick up a wounded veteran. They asked us if we could wait on him. They had a few other tests to run, and we said absolutely. Well, that little bit of a wait turned into a long wait. It was about 7-hour wait.
Yeah.
So we got bored. Batteries on the phone was dead. We just took a napkin out of the lunch sack and drew a little squiggly line and started making up our own silly little game and making our rules. And we just threw one idea off another back and forth, and over time chaos was developed. I retired, he retired. Last year we pulled our money together, had it manufactured, and made the dream happen. Right now we've had it just a little over a year. It's just now getting out there. We're in about 22, 23 stores in 5 states. So it's new, but it's starting to get a little bit of a snowball effect going. We're excited about it. It's a super fun game, totally unique. Never played another game like it, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. And how would you describe the mechanics of the game to our listeners? It is very unique. I saw you explain it to me, but if you were going to compare it to the gameplay of something else.
Well, it kills me to say this, but it plays with the same mechanics as Sorry or Parcheesi.
Okay.
Just think of it, Sorry on steroids.
Right.
It is not Sorry, I guarantee
You're right,
that.
yeah.
It's chaos. But it plays that way. In the game Sorry, you have everybody has their own home they're trying to get to, safe. In this game, nobody really has a home. You have 4 separate homes. Everybody shares the 4 separate homes.
Yeah.
So it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
You pick what direction you want to go around the board. Everybody be going different directions, and directions can change in a second. It's so unpredictable. It's amazing, though. It's really fun.
Yeah, when you were showing it to me, I like that, obviously it's called chaos. Chaos could happen at any time. The roll of the dice or turn of a card, you might have to switch places with somebody else, like all together, switch teams, switch directions, and those games that are constantly changing like that just add so much fun to a game, I think. So,
well, you definitely have to pay attention and be on your toes.
Yeah.
The person that really pays attention will probably be the one that wins, but it's so unpredictable that it looks like you're going to win it, but 2 moves later, it's completely changed, and now you're losing.
Yeah.
So it's not over till it's over with this game.
Cool. Well, hey, do you guys have a website or a social media place that people could find this game?
We do. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Our website is chaosboardgame.com.
Okay.
Right now we have a 2-pack special going for Christmas time, and we've reduced the game from $40.95 down to $34.95. But if you get on and you put in the coupon code DEAL3 and check out, you'll get another $3 off.
Cool.
So you get it for $31.95.
Awesome. Well, those of you guys listening, you are definitely want to go check this out, especially if you're into tabletop games of any kind, because I personally play a lot of games and haven't seen anything like it. So you're going to want to check it out.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping
It's
by,
been a
man.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys, we are sitting here with our friends from KC Retro. You guys know them, Derek and Nate. How you guys doing today, man?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Just having fun at BadCon, y'all.
Hell yeah, dude. That's exactly right. We have fun no matter where we go.
It's true. How's your day here been so far?
Great. We just got a lot of new stock for the shop over for Retro Zone. Shout out Monty Michaels, man. That's the dude. There's some really cool vendors here. We got Back in Time comics too. Like they're a staple. There's some really cool guest panels. Some
And
voice
it
actors.
looks really nice over there, doesn't it? That they have a whole stage dedicated to guest panels.
I love it. I love the setup in here. It looks really nice.
Yeah, the lighting's great.
Yeah, the
Heck
lighting's
yeah.
amazing.
It's a vibe.
It's
I
a
mean,
vibe
the
for
Infinite
sure.
Taylorverse is here. That's really. I mean, enough said.
Right. I mean,
If we're here, there's someone to talk to.
That's true.
Midland, shout out to Midland Ghostbusters too. They're here.
Oh yeah, the
Yep.
cosplayers.
Yep. So there's some good people here. This is a good little event for the community, and that's what we're here to always support the
I
community.
think you got to check into the co-op. Let's give a shout out to the co-op.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So they're the runners of this building here in North Kansas City in Pleasant Valley. Now, you're going to see a lot more coming from them because I think they're planning to do a whole holiday series and get things going for end of this year and start of next year. They have stuff every month planned.
Yep,
Yeah.
tons of shows. I heard they're doing country and rock and all kinds of stuff. Trying to do hip hop.
Oh yeah, I think they got a book series, some authors coming, and like he said, a Christmas thing and all kinds of stuff. The venue's perfect for that, and the location's not bad, and it's really cool. You're right. Well, what have you guys been up to, man?
Man, we're living the dream. I mean, we're just getting ready for KC Retro stuff again. We're gonna start doing a lot of events here soon. We're also, rocking and rolling. Kincaid's doing its thing next door. Retro Zone's doing its thing. We're always trying to help and do whatever we can for our community out here.
Oh, no, man. We love being out and about and seeing you guys everywhere. So we love what you guys do and what you bring to all these events. And obviously here at the Taylorverse, you're a staple to us. So we love having you stop by. And yeah, we appreciate what all you guys do, man.
Man, much love, man. We do it. We do it collectively all together. I think it's a big old teamwork, make the dream work situation. I feel like everybody has a part to play. We're not playing checkers, we're playing chess over here, Team player chess.
Team player chess. There's got to be something like Quidditch or some kind of wizard game that goes in there.
Something very strategic.
Yeah.
Right.
with friends and family, of course, too. Yeah, this is good, man. This is great. I really appreciate you guys as always.
Sweet. Well, hey, as always, thanks for stopping by, man. And we look forward to, obviously, the upcoming KC Retro. And as always, folks, you've heard us say it 1,000 times, but go check out the Kincaid Arcade. Go check out the Retro Zone. You're going to get your collectibles there. You're going to find a lot of good gaming. All the upright arcade games and all the modern, traditional, you name it, it's there. Head over to the Oak Park Mall and find our friends, man. You're not going to be disappointed.
Great
Appreciate that
atmosphere,
love.
good people.
Yeah.
Much love, guys.
Sweet. Thanks for stopping by.
No doubt.
All right, you guys, we're sitting here with Stacy from Lit and Libations. Stacy, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. So a little birdie told us about a really cool event that you've got coming up really soon, and we thought it would be awesome if you told our listeners all about it.
Absolutely. So we're doing Lit and Libations on November 9th here at the Co-op at Shoal Creek. We're going to have 33 local authors, and I formed a nonprofit called KC Bookbeat. So we're having a catalog of local authors, and it's all local authors in our catalog, and we're celebrating the release of that catalog at Lit and Libations.
That's awesome. So if our listeners are hearing this and think, man, that would be super cool, tell them about it. When is it going to be? How can they find out about it? Tickets and things like that.
Sure. So you can find out about it on our website. We have kcbookbeat.com. So we're going to have here at the Co-op at Shoal Creek in Pleasant Valley, we're going to have 33 local authors, a little bit of everything. So we have romance, we have horror, we have thriller, all sorts of different types of authors. And so our goal is to really build up the indie author community and help them connect with readers and connect them to bookstores.
That's awesome. I know right off the bat I'm thinking of several people that will find this super fun. And when is this event going to be?
November 9th.
Cool. And you said they could just go to the website and find all the facts about tickets and stuff?
Yeah, kcbookbeat.com is our website, and all the information is on there.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, and I guarantee a ton of our listeners are going to love finding this and go into it and having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for talking to me.
All right, you guys, I'm sitting here with Heather, who is the owner and operator of this awesome venue, the Co-op at Shoal Creek here in Pleasant Valley, Missouri. How you doing, Heather?
I'm okay. It's been a great day.
That's awesome. So for our listeners, the reason I thought it'd be cool to have you on would be to tell them about your venue and its location and all the things they can expect to come here.
Sure. So we are brand new. We just opened in January, the Co-op at Shoal Creek. We are a co-working space and event center. So we do private offices, open co-working, virtual offices, so business addresses. And then we have event venues that will seat anywhere from 15 people to 1,300 people.
That's awesome. And obviously we have BadCon going on today. Are most of your events about like this, or is this maybe a bigger one? Or
This is actually the biggest one we've done so far.
Okay.
We've done weddings, a couple of smaller conferences, some bigger birthday parties, those kind of things.
Cool. And on the top of your mind, can you think of a few events to come that just people might be interested in?
Absolutely. So November 9th, we have Lit and Libations, which is kind of like a boozy book fair. I think y'all talked to Stacy earlier. And then December 1st, we have a Steel Pan Christmas. So we have a Steel Pan drum band coming in, and they'll be doing Christmas carols. And then December 13th, we have Phil Crosby Jr., Bing Crosby's grandson, coming in, and he's going to do some of those crooner Christmas carols for us.
Very cool. And so these are obviously events ran by people using your venue, but could they come to maybe your guys' website and see all these things to come, or?
Yes. So they'll be able to, they can find us at coop@shoalcreek.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram. So
awesome.
We're pretty easy to find.
And then people listening who might be thinking, I'm looking for a cool place for my event, would they just go to those same places to get a hold of you guys? And
Absolutely.
All right. Very cool. Well, again, the Co-op at Shoal Creek out in Pleasant Valley, Missouri, pretty much Kansas City. And it's a really great looking venue, guys. So check out the events to come. And if you're looking for a place to host your party, reception, big event, look these guys up, guys. You won't regret it.
We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you guys, we're sitting here with actor Adrian Sudarso. Man, how are you doing today?
What's up, guys? I'm doing great.
So those of you listening, you guys know this. I grew up loving Power Rangers so much.
My man.
Jumped in the OG, early
That's
90s, Mighty Morphin, and just kind of, that was my jam for so long. And you guys know my story. Like, growing up, those were who I related to. That was like...
Yeah, same.
Everything else can be a little crazy, but I've always had those guys to come back to. And then...
Same, yeah. They were kind of like my point of peace, like, in the turbulent, life,
Right.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I love the series.
Well, you played in the more recent Ninja Steel season, and you were the Blue Ranger called Preston, right?
I was.
Okay.
I also played Marvin, which is the Red Hyperforce Ranger.
Okay, that's right, the Hyperforce.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I was telling you a little bit earlier, when I was a kid, I watched until about the Time Force season. Yeah. That's about when,
Which is ironic, because that's the most gritty of all the seasons.
It really is, and they had a lot going on. Like that's when it gets a little more mature. But you're in high school, and you're like, you can't let your friends know.
Dude, I did the same thing. Right. For me, it was Wild Force. So Wild Force was during the time I was kind of watching it, but kind of watching it in secret.
Right.
I was like, I can't let my friends know that I'm still into this stuff.
I had funny enough, when I graduated high school, my friend, shout out to Carl, my friend Carl from high school. My graduation present, I opened it, it was wrapped. It was that Forever Red episode on DVD.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so funny.
now it's funny because I'm a huge preacher of passion about these types of things. So it's back then it's funny how I was oh no, I couldn't let people see it. Now it's you gotta be passionate.
Absolutely.
You gotta be,
It also, I'm a high school teacher in my day job.
Oh, whoa, God bless you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. And it's funny, when I was in high school, we just said, you couldn't talk about this. But now
it's popping, bro.
It's cool to love what you love. And
100%.
I couldn't talk about Star Wars and superheroes and Power Rangers, but now it's
now there's debates on it.
Yeah, and
it's fantastic.
As a teacher, I'm observing you got the football players, you got the mathletes, you got the band
They're
kids.
into anime? What?
They all love
crazy.
all this stuff, and it's so cool. It brings people together for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, learning, back when you kind of began this whole journey, what was going on before Power Rangers?
So Power Rangers has kind of been my main goal. From like we were talking about, I also grew up with Power Rangers, and I idolized Power Rangers. Everything, the colors, the suits, the way that they would move, I loved it. So going out of high school, I didn't technically know what I wanted to do, but my brother was an action performer. So he used to do parades, live shows, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he actually got in with the Ranger live shows, and that's actually how we found out about the casting process. But prior to that, I was probably just going to be drawing. I was actually thinking about doing teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to teach art.
That's awesome. My wife, shout out to my amazing wife. That was her first passion. She went into art and graphic design, and then now
I love that.
she's a kindergarten teacher. So
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
That's seriously like the way that I want to live my life. I want to give back to, and or teach breakdancing. That'd be sick.
The cool thing about the industry you're in, even if you don't see it, you guys give back every day. Like this
Thank you,
world is
brother.
crazy, and you give people 30 minutes of joy out of pop. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I mean, sometimes it's hard for us to see that because it's like we're so separated. You know, it's like Power Rangers was like 9 years ago for me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a bit. Unless if I'm at a con, I forget that, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, my day job, I work theme parks and I work fast food. So my life is very very day to day. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like then coming to cons and like seeing the impact that we have, it's really a blessing to be a part of because you really see how much it actually does make an impact.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, day-to-day life, I don't see that. You know.
And obviously, Power Rangers was a big thing, but you've been in some other cool stuff, man. You
That's
were in
right.
Grownish. I love that whole line of those shows.
That's right. That
And-
was a blast to do. I love Grownish.
Yup.
Fam was fantastic.
Fam, yup. And
So
I
good.
also saw you were in Supergirl, and everybody
That's
listening knows
right.
I love all those CW shows.
That's
What
right.
was that like, man?
Bro, that was supposed to be a pilot.
Oh.
So they actually created the Midfield series as kind of like a pilot spin-off because from what I heard,
Right.
Melissa Benoist she was having a family and she was ready to transition to her family life.
Yep.
And she had done Supergirl at this point for 6 seasons. So she was like ready to go. So the producers wanted to keep it going, but they wanted to keep it fresh and different.
Yeah.
So they tried to do a time travel episode and they made it pretty much like they censored it around Supergirl,
Yeah.
but the young version. So I got to play her boyfriend, and me and Supergirl in those 2 episodes were kind of like a superhero duo.
Yeah.
It was super cool. Playing a
is cool.
sidekick is crazy cool.
And it is funny because, again, going back to how much I've loved Power Rangers over the years, and your season, Ninja Steel, that's the year my own children kind of jumped in. And
Heck yeah.
So it's funny watching all these shows and movies, and you're like, oh, there's a Power Ranger right there. Like, that's so cool.
It's also a trip for me too, because it's like, I mean, not that like I carry Power Rangers always with me everywhere,
Right.
but like going onto the set, I have memories of being a Power Ranger.
Right.
So then it's like seeing her do all the supers and all that stuff, and I'm just sitting by watching. It's kind of like, what happened?
Right? I want to do that.
Yeah. I used to do that too. Now I'm just the brain guy.
Right? That's so cool. Well, man, so obviously we're at a con. We got all this stuff. My buddies and I that do this, we love collecting, Funko Pops and comic books. Like, what are you into, man?
I'm into cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of trading cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I play Digimon trading cards. I collect
Yes.
Magic the Gathering. Yeah,
Yep.
you know that? Or Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
a little bit of Pokemon cards, but yeah, I'm a big fan of trading cards and pixel art.
Okay.
Yeah, so like retro games.
Yeah, it's really funny. A kid in the 90s over here loved Digimon growing up.
Oh, heck yeah. It's so good, dude.
My oldest son is 10, so the past 4 or 5 years...
You got to get him to watch a movie. You know
all of it, yeah. We've watched all the movies, the
Season
Try
1?
movies.
Oh my
yeah.
God, bro.
And then I found on the Facebook Marketplace, someone was selling all their old Digimon cards, and they had the whole set. I had to go buy it. So
No, Digimon's so good. They're starting up a brand new TCG,
Yeah.
so it's been really good.
Awesome. Well, hey, one last question for spooky season. You got any Halloween plans, man?
I have some films coming out for Halloween.
Yeah.
I did some horror shorts, and
Okay.
we have some things planned out. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say, but when it comes out, you guys will see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners, where can they find you out on social media and things like that?
So you guys can find me on social media at Peter S. Adrian, and hopefully you'll be seeing me on a bunch of other shows.
Yes.
Yeah, keep your eyes out.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for your time and
Bro,
stopping
thank you
by.
for having me, man.
Coming to the Taylorverse.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Have a great rest of your day, man.
All right, brother.
All right, you guys, we are sitting here with Michael Copon, the amazing actor that you might know from things like Power Rangers Time Force, or One Tree Hill, or Scorpion King 2, man. Dude, first of all, how you been doing this weekend?
I've been doing good. Thanks for asking, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, and all of our listeners know that I was one of those kids growing up, absolutely loving the Power Rangers, and it's funny that you get to a certain point and you feel a little too old for it, and your season was the last season I watched before I reached that point.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was with it from the start and through Time Force, and then obviously they did that special one where they brought back all the Red Rangers the next year or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so cool that you're here, and that was a big part of my childhood. Even my high school days, you know, when you're that age where you're like, I can't tell my friends I watch Power Rangers, but then like, how does that feel knowing you've been a big part of so many people's lives, man?
You know, I accept the responsibility. I think it's awesome. I think it's one of the best things I could say is that I'm a legendary Ranger. Right. And you know, we Time Force, especially Jason Font and I, we kind of eat it up, and we've taken it to the next level. We've got metal morphers now, metal badges from the show. So we originally can only buy the plastic chronomorpher, right. So we made them in hard metal. And I think we're doing our second round. We're going to do something a little bit, make it look more futuristic even. So there'll be like a Generation 2 version of the chronomorpher. So we kind of do things for the fans that are a little bit outside of the box, just so they keep coming back to us and seeing what we got next cooking and things like that. So yeah, it's an awesome experience to be a Power Ranger for sure.
That's awesome, man. And I thinking back to those days, you were Lucas. You were kind of the tough, the cop, like we're the by
guy,
the books guy.
The guy that couldn't smile. That's what they kept saying. Don't smile. Don't smile.
That's awesome. How does that feel, just knowing you're part of that big legacy that so many people, children, adults, like we all just love it, man?
I think it's like I said earlier, I accept the responsibility of it because it is a responsibility. When I became a Ranger, I was like, oh, you're going to be looked up to from a lot of people. So it just made me realize that I can't be the guy that's partying too hard or the guy that's doing that. I mean, because people come up to me for inspiration, and some people don't want that. Some people say, look, I didn't sign up for this to be a mentor or be a role model, but I did. I mean, I accepted it when I'm glad it was in my natural spirit to want to be a role model, and that's what I've done. I've just taken it, and whether I'm making movies, writing scripts, directing, or I'm at events speaking, public speaking, I'm always trying to basically be an inspiration, a mentor, big brother, or some sort of role model to people.
That's awesome. I got kids of my own. I'm a high school teacher, and I see kids all the time that need that. So thank you so much for being that, man.
Of course.
Let's see. What are some things to come that people could look forward to that you've been a part of?
I'm just doing some awesome things with my company right now. I've been rebranding into more of a Copon Films corporation. I just incorporated. So I've ran off Copon Studios for a while, but I'm kind of out of the studio game, more into the filmmaking game. So I just made another feature with Scott Adkins, who was in John Wick 4, and he was Boyka in Undisputed. He was the lead of my film, a World War II film in the Philippines, and then I've also got about 7 scripts that I just written that I'm going to be producing and directing as well as acting in, and just directed a film with Danny Trejo last year or a couple years ago too. So just, I guess the good thing you look at is I'm actually a full-time filmmaker now, where I'm like doing not just acting full-time, but I'm actually directing and producing full-time too.
That's really cool. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
So as we approach this spooky season, I've had to ask everyone, got any really fun Halloween plans?
I mean, we just kind of go to the local neighborhood, and it's a place that gives out full candy bars. Right, one of those places, and we're gonna take my son, and he's gonna be Paw Patrol this year. I think.
Nice.
I think at first he wanted to be Chase the dog, but then I think later he's like, no, I want to be what's his name? I think the Reuben or the
Rubble.
No, not Rubble. The kid that helps.
The kid. Marshall.
Marshall's still a dog. But it was I forget his name, but the dude, the kid.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
The one that is his leader, basically. Yeah. So we got him a jacket so he can dress like him and stuff like that. So
that's awesome. I have a almost 6-year-old going through the exact same stuff right now.
yeah, it's fun.
Well, hey,
times.
Where could folks go find you out on social media and things like that?
Yeah, just at Michael Copon's my Instagram, and I'm gonna have my website up pretty soon. I'm gonna be marketing to a lot of people. I've collected a lot of emails over the years. I've never done any marketing like that, so I'm kind of inspired now to kind of reach out and build a newsletter, build a internal fan base outside of social media, so that way I'm not restricted and confined to the the rules and the guidelines of social media. So I'll be building like a members only platform to get exclusive content. I've produced 6 films at this point. You'll get access to those films for free, things like that. A lot of behind the scenes I've never posted. I've been a quiet person, and despite the fact that I've stayed pretty good at posting, but there's so much more that I have that I've never ever posted online behind the scenes of every project. And that's kind of like what I want to start doing from 2025 on, is really giving people the full story. And then obviously like the people who are really fans that want to lock in and help support me on this journey, then they'll get access to a lot more. So
very cool, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for your time today, and thanks so much for the work you do. Like, you might not feel it, but it's really important right now that you give people these little bursts of joy every now and again, man. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. All right. You take care. Take care.
All right, you guys. We are sitting here at BadCon with the amazing Matt and Macsen Lintz. How you guys doing today, man?
We're doing good, man. Yeah.
Happy to be here.
That's awesome. So for our listeners who might be listening, you guys know we're all about all kinds of pop culture stuff. So TV is a big topic that we talk about, and you guys have been in things like The Walking Dead and Ms. Marvel and all kinds of stuff. Tell us a little bit, one at a time, what got you guys into doing all this stuff?
So it all started with my mom. She was on a show called Surface, and she did a show called One Tree Hill and stuff like that. And me and my sister Madison, who was also on The Walking Dead, we would go on set with her. And I was 4, and she was 6 or 7, and kind of from there me and her got into commercial work and just doing it for fun. And then as we got older, it kind of got more and more serious. And then I won't speak for Macsen because
No. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of followed suit with the rest of the 3 because my oldest sister was also acting at the time too, so I kind of had a good, I guess, just base level for where I could start because my mom had so many connections, and then my older 3 siblings had already been doing it, so I kind of just was able to walk into the business. I always tell people, don't ask me how I got into it because I had a free kind of walk in. I got lucky with how I was able to kind of approach and get into the business because I had my whole family doing it before me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned One Tree Hill. So my wife's like a huge diehard.
Yeah.
Like I've watched episodes here and there, but it was one of those shows that like I'd walk in the room and she's crying, and then I'd walk directly out of the room.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's about. I've never seen it.
It's a teen drama. I do know that, and I've watched enough episodes to know there's a lot of this going on.
Yeah.
Would you know what character?
She was like, I think she was like an angry boss that fell in love with one of the Sears regulars in it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. That's hilarious. No, it was just like, so I feel like every few years there's a show that she starts to watch where it's like, am I gonna walk into some crying? And if I am, exactly. Do I need to walk out of this room real quick?
That's awesome. So, okay, thinking back to, obviously you guys have been doing this. When you were young, what was your go-to stuff that you enjoyed to watch yourself?
SpongeBob.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, no, I was always a big SpongeBob guy. I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans too.
Oh yeah.
It was a ton of fun. I always rewatch those.
What's your favorite SpongeBob episode?
Dude, SpongeBob, have you heard of the idiot box? You know when Patrick and SpongeBob, they got the box and Squidward's like hearing them go crazy in this box, and it sounds like they're like scaling a mountain doing crazy stuff, and then Squidward will open the box and it's like, what are you guys doing in there? And then they're just, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right. They're just using their imagination.
My favorite one is the once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died.
Oh, dude, that's a classic line. That's a classic line. We can never forget that. I've seen all the good episodes. I haven't watched the new. They got this new animation going on. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Because that's like my childhood thing. Don't mess with the new SpongeBob, man.
I feel like there's always that one thing that we always like. Don't touch that one thing.
Yeah.
That they're gonna touch it, and they're
every
gonna
generation
touch it.
has that.
Yeah. Exactly. That's amazing.
It's funny. I'm a high school teacher. That's my day job, and my hall pass is the picture of SpongeBob going, all right, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, cool. So, I guess for both of you guys, you had mentioned. Was your mother a part of The Walking Dead before you guys got there?
My mom was not. No.
Or your sister? Is that
my sister?
Okay,
was.
yeah,
She
your sister.
had acted in the first 2 seasons. She was actually a comic book character, and she lasted the whole thing. So she had a pretty big following within the whole Walking Dead universe. But then I was 5, 6 seasons later, season 7, 8, and I had like 1 episode in 9.
And then he was the back half of season 9. He had a storyline
right
throughout then. So all three of us have had our fair share of Walking Deadness.
That's right. Forgive me, which character was your mother?
Or
your sister. Your sister. Yeah.
She was Sophia. She had a scene where she came out of the barn and she was a little girl.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. I'm geeking out because thinking of how cool my dad would have thought this was. Man.
Dude,
yeah. So, man, Henry, I was tore up about Henry at the end.
It was crazy.
His fate.
Yeah.
Very crazy. Yeah.
How about so you as the actor? How early in advance did you know about that?
I knew like 2 weeks before.
So not that early.
Yeah, no. That's how it goes. You know, they'll send scripts out and a week or two prior, and then that's kind of when you find out.
Yeah. Do you remember reading it? What went through your mind?
No, I didn't read it. I just got a call from Angela Kang.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I remember from it. And then, I had a week or two of filming, and then, the death scene and all that.
So, I wonder if it's the same length of time for like people knowing they die in most shows. Then do you think,
I don't
so
know.
that it doesn't ruin the show for anyone?
You
if
still have
they
that
don't-
guttural feeling about it.
Yeah, I remember watching Walking Dead, and the one that really got me, well, two of them that really got me were the Herschel death with the sword, which I was just like, and then the second was the Glenn death, and then after the Glenn death, I had to like stop watching for a little bit. And I got back on. I was Glenn was my homeboy for a long time there.
How crazy was the replica of your head?
It was so weird. Yeah, and they did a great job, and they did like a head mold that I was engulfed in goo and could only breathe through my nostrils, and then the final product looked great. Yeah.
Do you get to keep the molds?
I did not. No, Yeah, I didn't want to.
Okay.
You don't need extra heads laying around the house.
Good Halloween.
Man, I think I would have put it in like a shadow box or something, and like hung it up. Like, look how crazy this is. So yeah.
What was the process like of joining Ms. Marvel? Was it just a typical, you auditioned and things like
Yeah,
that?
I auditioned a lot of times.
Yeah.
And just kind of kept advancing and ended up getting it, which was cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And we both, again, I love comics, but he is obsessed with comics,
So
especially
is it-
Marvel.
My parents just weren't huge like TV people, so like my dad brought me home some comics. Now I'm sitting at a collection that's a little over 10,000.
Wow,
But
that's
it's
crazy.
been one of those things that I've always done kind of in the background of my life. Like
Yeah.
it's like I learned how to dress myself and talk to girls, but also I have this like really weird thing that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that character in particular, when they introduced her, like in the books at least, was like a breath of fresh air because you're dealing with a bunch of like middle-aged guys at this point. And I've been reading since, I was a kid, and they were middle-aged white guys then too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having a bunch of like just not only fresh air when it comes to youth, but when it comes to just different cultures and things like that being introduced all at once was like, oh, thank God. This isn't going to just die with a bunch of just,
exactly.
So it's awesome, and it's really cool that you get to take part in something that's actually, and you might not know this, but is actually a cultural jumping board for.
No, that's one of the main
Did they
reasons
talk
I was
to
so
you guys?
excited
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Is
Yeah,
because
it's so cool.
it's such a big jump for
Yeah.
not only Marvel but just in general.
Yeah,
so
that's
it was
amazing.
Cool to be on board with
it's
that.
so awesome that you're self-aware of that too. That's so cool. You get to enjoy it in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because so many people, I'm sure, are just like, oh yeah, it's a show. It was on. It's pretty cool. And then you look back on it like that was like a big deal. Yeah, that's awesome.
And Bruno is such a cool character. I mean, as you know, the kind of the nerd guys sitting from the back watching the show like this, who hasn't been Bruno, right?
Yeah.
So it's such a relatable character. So like a smart, cool, inventive character. And what was that feeling like when you got the news? You get to be this guy. How did that go?
I mean, it was awesome. I immediately went into the comics, Miss Marvel, and his relationship with Kamala, and getting to go through that and build the character was a ton of fun. And Bruno's a really, really fun character.
That's really
he's a
cool.
funny character too. Which is good for. I think any comic characters, they need to have a funny character like that, or else it's just too serious.
Yeah.
So and you can say nothing. Will we see Bruno again?
That's what I can't.
That's what I figured. You can say absolutely nothing. I got you, 100%. We both love that character so much. When Ms. Marvel showed back up in the Marvels, we were both excited about that. And
Or when the game came out, when everyone was bummed that was such a big part of the game, and we were all like, no, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like playing with Gumby.
Yep. Sweet. Thanks again for stopping by with us. I guess one
Both
last
y'all.
thing here.
Man.
It's spooky season right now. Do you guys have any big Halloween plans?
I don't know.
We did.
I don't know. We'll have to see with
we
our
had
family.
we had a little party planned with Madison, my sister who played Sophia, but that's some complications. She's filming a movie right now, and the kind of got moved. So now we're trying to have to scrap something together. I might just stay home and I live in Auburn, so they do it fine there. So I might just stick around, stay home, and.
I got one more question for you guys. My Halloween question. It's a two-parter. One is, you're in a dark room. What Halloween character do you want to meet in a dark room, and who do you not want to meet in a dark room?
Man, dude.
I don't want to meet the Terrifier, Art the Clown. Yeah, no, that would be fun.
That guy, he gets into it. I wouldn't want to meet probably Michael Myers.
Yeah,
because he's just dead set. You
and
could
quiet.
You could compliment him, and he'd be like, I don't care, dude. I'm killing you.
I don't know who I'd want to meet. No one.
Who would I want to meet?
Who do you want to meet?
Maybe Pennywise, because you can kind of just be like,
I'd
you're
say
a loser.
Chucky.
Chucky, kick him around.
Oh yeah.
Pennywise, you can just insult, and he's like, he just deflates, and he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, peace out.
Well, awesome, guys. Great video.
Yeah, so nice.
Thanks for having us, guys. We appreciate this.
Yeah.
And then I guess, do you guys have anything on the horizon we could be looking forward to that you can talk about?
Yeah, I have an independent film that we finished filming that we're probably going to be going to festivals here soon. It's called Grizzly Night. If you guys want to check it out, based off a true story.
Independent films are my jam.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm actually just getting back into acting. I'm auditioning right now, so I don't have anything coming up, but hopefully I will soon, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, you guys, we are sitting here with the amazingly talented actor, Mr. David DeLuise. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm in the Taylorverse.
Yes, welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse.
I'm doing great. I'm having very, very good time here at BadCon. Do you know why they call it BadCon?
We don't. This is our first one.
Yeah. Is it bad like the way that bad means good?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or is it like, I
with
guess.
the horror theme, maybe, the bad guys.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the horror theme for sure.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you're a teacher.
Yes, sir.
What do you teach?
I teach mostly juniors and seniors advanced biology.
My dad wanted to be a biology major. I mean, he was so fascinated by that. I love it too. I think it's very interesting.
That's awesome.
Do you like your students?
Oh man, I love those guys. Even the ones that could possibly drive you nuts. I think I really love those guys.
Well, isn't there always one kid in the class that's like a pain in the butt?
Oh, one? That's being nice. No, no, yeah.
Because I teach an acting class that I've been doing for about 14 years called AGB, Actors Giving Back. Anybody should go check that out on Instagram. But there's always one kid in the class who's a troublemaker. And now I know. I go like, oh, there he is. And I play the quiet game with him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll give you $5 if you don't talk for 3 minutes. They never win, but at least they try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have 4 kids of my own, and we try games like that. They never work. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I had my list up here of stuff that I've loved for so long. Obviously, going back to when I was in high school, Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I played Bug Pallone and John Lithgow, Jane Curtin, French Stewart, Simbi Kali. They were all great. And it was Bonnie and Terry Turner who did the 70s show and the Brady Bunch movies. Tom Warner, Carsey Warner, who did Roseanne, and The Cosby Show. And I mean, those now have turned out to be a little weird, but they were very popular in their day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love doing that show. I did like 55 episodes of Third Rock.
Yep.
And if any of your listeners haven't seen that show, they should check it out. It's about 4 aliens that come down to Earth to figure out the human experience in Ohio.
Yeah. How very representative of the entire planet, right?
You know what was fun on that show? My dad and my 2 brothers got to do a cameo.
Yep.
They came in, and John Lithgow was Dick Solomon, and he was having an affair with this woman who turned out to be my mom.
Okay.
And then my dad and my brothers came in. They were like heavies. They were kind of like mafia guys.
Uh-huh.
And it was fun to work with them. It was great. Yeah, Third Rock was a lot of fun. That was a really good experience for me. My oldest daughter's 32.
Okay.
It's very hard to keep track of the age because it changes every year.
Yeah.
But she was 1 when we started.
Oh,
so
man.
that was 30 years ago.
That's crazy.
Joey Gordon-Levitt was on there. He was 12.
Yeah.
Now he's like a grown-up man.
Right?
You know?
And he's like a sex symbol.
Right.
When like back then he was so awkward and like kind of.
now he's a heartthrob.
You know what was great about him back then? His parents were like kind of little hippie-ish and super cool. They were very down to earth. Back then, back in the day, they had something called Teen Beat, which was, all the kids were in this magazine, and he didn't want to be in there because he took himself, seriously. He said, there's no point for me to do that. And he was 12, and he's like, if the Los Angeles Times wants to interview me, I'll talk to them. But, and I think in the 6th season, he got out to go to college.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was the show. They were very nice to let him go and do that, because he was contractually obligated. But they were like, "Yeah, we want you to have, your education." And then I saw him at a restaurant like 2 years later, and he had just done the movie Brick and something else that was great. And I was like, "So awesome! I mean, you're so talented and so great. What happened to school?" And he goes, nobody was focused. They were all just partying and drinking and smoking.
The American
he said
school.
Nobody took it seriously.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm going to go do this smart, great. I call him a kid, but he's a man. But he's a great kid.
Yeah, he seems awesome. I was also thinking, I come from a family of 2 kids. I had my younger sister, and then my wife came from a family of 4 kids. She had all sisters, and Wizards of Waverly Place was a staple in a lot of those guys' home for a while. What was it like being on that show? How was that for you?
It was really fun. So Disney Channel was a cable network.
Yep.
Was Hannah Montana and Zack and Cody.
Yep.
But it was like, it wasn't NBC, it wasn't CBS, it wasn't, it wasn't like prime time.
Right.
And I had worked my butt off to get my quote. And what your quote is what you get paid, what your salary is supposed to be. Disney was very good at negotiating.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't pay your quote, we pay this amount, which was like 1/3 my quote. And so I passed on the pilot. I was like, I want to go and do a show that's, I'm going to make my quote,
Absolutely.
They went and shot a pilot without me, with a different dad. And then they came back to me and they were like, we want you to be the dad. And they guaranteed me 22 episodes of work. So, I mean, how the hell am I going to pass that up?
Right.
I was in the midst of a divorce. I had 2 kids. I couldn't say no to the guarantee of that money.
Right.
So I did. And I remember I was doing a movie. I was downtown LA, and I was having a conversation with my brother Peter. And I said, Peter, they don't want to pay me any money, really. But, well, I mean, it's a lot of money. But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And he said, well, do you like the part? And I was like, oh, I never thought of it that way. And I said, yeah, crazy kooky dad teaching his kids magic. It sounds fun. He goes, I think you just made your decision.
Yep.
So that was, a good decision. I also knew that a lot of the parents on Disney and Nickelodeon were directors. They would, somehow fall into directing. So I ended up directing 7 episodes and doing about 13 sitcoms as a director. And that was great. Great experience, really fun. And I made a little extra cash that way. And there are no residuals when you were on Disney Channel. Okay. I mean, like, it's like a few dollars here or there. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, normally when you do a show, you make Third Rock from the Sun was 30 years ago, and I'm still making residuals from that show that are better than the Wizards of Waverly Place. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
So, but the residual effect of that is I'm known as the dad.
Yeah.
So I'm cast. I did a couple of series of movies called Pup Star, where I'm in this world where dogs talk.
Yep.
And it's definitely geared towards littler kids.
Right.
But that was great that I got to be the dad in that. And, I also like playing like serial killers.
Right.
Because people typically don't see me as a serial killer, but I can do it.
Yep.
So Jerry Russo as a killer, which is fun.
Yeah. And then, am I right in thinking that you have made appearances in This Is Us and The Rookie?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I'm being fully transparent. I was not getting a lot of auditions as a guest. Right? A guest star means you work there for the week and you get paid a certain amount of money.
Sure.
Now, a co-star is someone who typically doesn't work the whole week and doesn't have that many lines. So I realized I wasn't getting a lot of jobs. So I said to my manager and my agent, I was like, I'll audition for the co-stars. So a lot of people wouldn't offer me the co-star role because they don't think people who are series regulars will do that. And I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I want to make my health insurance, you know?
Right.
So I did Home Economics. I did 911, Shameless, a bunch of different shows. And I made my health insurance, but those were all co-star roles.
Okay.
Right? But people don't go, oh, David DeLuise is on Shameless, and he's a co-star. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was very happy to kind of start working again in that fashion, you know. And I've done other things. I mean, I have a cafe called the Bigfoot Cafe, and everybody can go to the Instagram of the Bigfoot Cafe and check it out.
Yep.
It's just an hour and a half outside of Los Angeles in a place called Pine Mountain. My dad built a cabin there in '78. So when my parents passed away, we pretty much sold all of the real estate except for that cabin. So I still have, I used to go there as a kid.
Yeah.
So I still have the old feeling there, which is nice. I produced a scripted podcast called Grandma for President. Got Mel Brooks to do a part in it, which was great.
Awesome.
And I had never produced anything before, but I was like, let's try. Let's problem solve, Right. I have a podcast with Jennifer Stone where we do we rewatch Wizards, and then we talk about it and talk about pop culture things and stuff too. Yeah. So I'm diversifying my energies into different things as well, Yeah. So it's fun to listen. Working at it as an actor is not terribly hard. Getting the job is the hard part.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's from all the stuff we've read and seen. That's the way it appears.
Taylor, can you be a little more quiet, please?
Sorry. He's
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was my dad's joke. When anybody would be quiet, my dad would say, "Can you please be quiet?"
Yeah.
I was actually, I was going to say something about your dad that was like, sorry. So I was young. There was a movie that came out called All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yes, All Dogs Go to Heaven with Burt Reynolds and my dad.
So I had the copy where your dad's on it. At the beginning, he introduces the movie. He does this like monologue part. So,
but as my dad or as Itchy?
As your dad. And then the movie started.
And for those of you listening, if you're in the dark for any reason whatsoever, David's dad was the amazing Dom DeLuise. You guys all know who that is, so that's who Taylor's talking about.
Cannonball Run. He did a lot of movies with Mel Brooks, and
So we were kind of latchkey kids growing up. So like there are certain people who like wouldn't never say like raised us, but definitely taught us lessons in life, and that was one of those people for me.
That's so cool. I love hearing that.
That movie taught us about mortality. In a way, as children, I never understood until I got older.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, like watching it, and that was always something, and it was just...
It's a great, a very entertaining, educational film. And my belief system is that I don't just... Listen, we all die.
Yeah.
And I don't perceive, for me, death is a bad thing. I think it's a transition. It's a move on to, we're all energy, whatever. I'm saying it as if you guys totally agree with me, but my opinion is we're all energy. We're all a part of this cosmic universe thing. We're having this human experience. But I know I was with my dad when he passed away. I'm not going to cry. The second he passed away, I didn't see it, but his soul left, and he was in a shell. He was not that body.
Yeah.
So I was like, the essence. It goes somewhere, that spark that is our soul or whatever you want to say.
Around,
I really feel like it goes to a place, So going back to All Dogs Go to Heaven, it was nice for me too to be like, there's more, this energy that we have, which I think is really, really cool,
Yeah.
And on another note, when they did All Dogs Go to Heaven, typically when you do a voiceover movie, you do all your lines, you're in the booth by yourself, and you're doing it, right? Well, my dad and Burt Reynolds had the best rapport, so they went into the booth together.
Oh, really?
That they could overlap, so that they could bounce each other. It wasn't just, I'm doing my job. It was, we're doing the job together, which was really smart, I thought.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, as we're approaching spooky season, Taylor had a fun question.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Wait, as we're approaching
the spooky season.
The spooky.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah, Halloween.
In the midst of the spooky season.
Yes.
Yes.
He's got an outrageous question.
Is one horror character you'd like to meet in a dark room and one you would not like to meet in
Okay,
a
so
dark
a
room?
horror person that I want to meet and a horror person I don't want to meet?
In a dark room.
Well, first of all, I want to say that my wife, Yulia, loves zombies.
Okay.
There is not a zombie movie that we haven't seen. To the point where she, like, works on her zombie walk and she wants to be, like, in The Walking Dead.
That's amazing.
I'll tell you this. You know Hellraiser?
Yes.
With the pinhead in it?
Yep.
I was home one night by myself, and I watched that movie. I was terrified. I was so scared.
I watched that movie by myself too. I don't know what I was thinking. And being like the guy. Yeah.
It was scary.
Oh yeah. And there's like 9 of those things.
I think I really enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street. The Freddy Krueger I thought was really cool. I loved that he had such a good personality.
Right.
You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was funny.
He was very funny.
Which was such an interesting thing because he was terrifying,
Yeah.
but also really funny. And the fact that his power was if you fell asleep, he would get you.
Yeah.
So you can't fall asleep, but falling asleep is something that we all have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
Johnny Depp the whole time trying
Yeah.
to keep himself
And you know,
awake.
Johnny Depp didn't
first?
go and audition for that movie. He went with his
No,
friend.
I didn't know this.
And he was sitting there in the waiting room because his friend was auditioning. And then they came out and said, do you want to audition for this? And he was like, okay. Because, you know, Johnny didn't want to be an actor. He wanted to be a musician.
Yep.
You know, and he tours now with, what is it, Hollywood Vampires or something?
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously a very talented, wonderful actor. He was on 21 Jump Street with my brother Peter.
Yeah.
And in the 4th season, he was being offered so many films that they could stack up, let's say, a good 3 feet high of scripts.
Yeah.
And he kept saying no to a lot of them. And then he first picked Crybaby. That was the movie he did. And I said to him, what made you choose that film? And he was like, the director. So John Waters, he really respected him. If you look at Johnny's career, all of the films that he's done are all very collaborative directors. You know, Tim Burton, and, you know, there's so many movies that, listen, as an actor, I had a daughter very young, so I had to work. So I didn't have a career in my idea. I got a job. I'm making money. I can pay for our life,
Yeah.
you know. But you could look at him. He really was selective with the films that he did, and really smart too, you know. And I love that he's doing music now, you know.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Very cool.
So Freddy Krueger, and
That's the one you wouldn't mind meeting.
that's the one I wouldn't mind because I enjoy him.
He's funny.
Yeah.
And then the one I don't want to see. Well, first of all, I have to say this: I have a hard time with The Walking Dead because they're so slow.
Right.
How do they catch you? It's like I watched one episode where they were
It's
like
the
on a
numbers.
bridge, and I was like, "They're gonna come from this side and that side. Why do you get off the bridge?"
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, how about we talk somewhere else? You know.
I've always thought it was a numbers thing.
It's it's a huge problem for me that the zombies who walk slow can now I zombie.
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
What was it? Is that it?
On the CW iZombie with
No. Sorry, not
or,
Will
World War Z. No.
with Will Smith.
Oh, you're thinking iRobot, but in
no,
the
no,
movies,
no.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
I am Legend.
Yes.
Those zombies move fast.
Yeah.
They're
Now-
scary.
I heard this too, that they were preparing for real life zombies. So they were all digitally done in the end. But they had, I was at a special effects place where I had to do like a latex something, and there were all these like zombie outfits. And I was like, what was that? And they were like, we made like 30 or 40 zombie outfits for that movie, and then they changed their mind.
And didn't even use them.
You know. Does Dracula?
Don't want to meet him.
The Dracula from Bram Stoker's, the
that
Gary Oldman Dracula.
The Gary Oldman.
I don't want to see him.
No, yeah. Gary Oldman's like the ultimate villain, isn't he?
Right? The best.
Entice
He's
you.
the best.
I'm watching his new show right now. It's like a British horses or something. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
There's a good new Gary Oldman show that's great, and I'm watching. They're like the FBI of England, the British intelligence, but they're like the not good office. They're like we're like
the other guys,
the B team.
The B team, exactly. It's funny.
That's awesome. Well, hey, man, we really appreciate you stopping by, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. And is there something that listeners might be looking forward to where they catch you out there?
I just did an episode of that 90s show.
Okay.
Which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
That 90s show they've done 2 seasons of.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're bringing it back, but I was in the 2nd season, so that's good.
Yep. My wife and I love it, and we have about the second half of the 2nd season left.
Okay, so you're going to see me in the second half. And what I would love everybody to do is go to the Instagram for the Bigfoot Cafe and check it out. My wife does all the social media on there, and it's it would be good if we got a couple of follows. That would be great.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, David, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate it so much.
Happy spooky season.
All right, guys, we are wrapping up our time here at BadCon. Taylor, have you had a good day today?
I've had a great day today. Got to see a lot of people. Got to get some comics. Got to do some chitty chatting. Got to hang out. It's been a good day.
I'm thinking my favorite part about today was obviously the really fun interviews, and then getting Matt Lintz to sign my Bruno from Ms. Marvel Funko Pop. I'm crazy about getting those pop signed. So
that was a crazy interview. Glad we got to do that.
Oh man, so excited, so cool. So big thank you to the runners of BadCon. Thanks for having us out. It's been a blast. And we look forward to what you guys have in the years to come. And it's been a blast, man. So as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.